시즌2에 대한 너무나 많은 요구와 관심과 사랑을 받고 있어서 시즌2를 안 할 수는 없는 상태인 것 같고요. 반드시 시즌2는 나올 거라고 생각을 하고 머릿속에 어느 정도의 구상은 굉장히 어느 정도 가지고 있습니다. 다만 지금 단계에서 아직 언제 그것이 나올 것이고 구체적으로 어떤 계획이 있느냐까지는 지금 말씀드릴 수가 없는 상태라 하지만 약속드릴 수 있는 건 기혼 will come back, he'll do something for the world. So.
Well, looks like we are going to get a season 2. But before we start, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share. Go up to the notifications area, hit that bell, hit all for the notifications so you receive all our notifications here on Q2Cast TV and Man with the Show. We're all familiar with the Netflix hit Squid Games. I highly recommend it. If you're not familiar with it, we'll go over it in a minute, but it is a hit show. This is familiar to some of you who might have seen Battle Royale or many other movies and animes that might be of the similar genre. And I think this is a new genre that's picking up steam. It's been around for a bit in Japan, but I think you're going to see a lot more of this coming out of Japan. And of course, Hollywood will copy it in the worst way that it can. So there was some sort of festival, or it was an interview done with Associated Press, and I'm going to read this off the New York Post. Buckle up, the chaos of Squid Game will be returning to Netflix for another season. The streaming mega hit returns was confirmed by writer-director Hwang Dong-hyu in an interview with the Associated Press. Hwang says there had been so much pressure, so much demand, and so much love for a second season. So I almost feel like you leave us no choice. He alluded to the ideas he's working on for the new season and promised that the main character, Ji-hun, will come back to the screen to do something for the world. This isn't the first time Hwang has talked about season 2 for this hit show, but it was for the first time that speculations were confirmed. Previously, he had hinted at a possibility second season by saying he doesn't have well-developed plans for season 2, but if it were to happen, he wouldn't do it alone. After that remark, Hwang put out the possibility of centering a narrative around policy-inspired relationships between the curious cop Jun-ho and his missing brother In-ho, aka the Frost Man. Squid Game gained traction quickly this year with people donning the show-inspired Halloween costumes and investing in a new cryptocurrency based on the series. One superfan even created their own at-home light show that was scarily real, complete with accurate visuals from the show. While the series is set in Korea, follows Jin-hun through a series of merciless, murder-filled games, it has been under fire for promoting violence, which it really hasn't. It hasn't stopped viewership and an ever-growing fan base. And despite the undeniability of popularity, Squid Game didn't make creator Hwang as rich as many people think. And we mentioned that on a Fast 5 on Saturday pre-flight. It is not like Netflix paid me a bonus, the 50-year-old Seoul native told The Guardian. Was it enough to put him food on the table? Another season might be what it takes to make mint. Well, here it is, folks. Squid Game, and as I said, if you haven't catched this, where have you been? This is a really, really good concept. It's very well done. The character development is excellent in this. That's the one thing. A lot of people say, well, we hate the characters. They're all really bad and stuff like that. Yes, but when you start to learn some of their stories, you start to understand. This is perfect story development. And, I'll tout back to the Japanese with some of their animes, Mushoku Tensei, ReZero, a couple of others on there. There is an anime version of another one. I think it's Alice in Borderlands is the other one that there is an anime version of it. Stuff like this has been around for quite some time. We've heard, as I mentioned, Battle Royale happens to be one of them. People said, well, it's a violent thing. But think about this for a second. And I said this in many, many videos, and especially talking about The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead, the zombies, are the secondary thing in the story. The main story itself, what would you do to survive? In the case of Squid Game, if you're broke, you have bills upon you, all these situations that you're going through, or you might be going to jail, or you might be losing. In the case in this series, you might end up losing your organs. How far would you go to make money in order to take care of your debts? Think of that into that perspective before you criticize and say, oh, it is a violent series. Oh, the violence on there. These are people in desperate need. And how far that desperation, and the thing about it is, this is not 10 people or 20 people or 100. This started out with over 400 people. Okay, they vetted over 400 people to play this game. And I'm sorry, a little bit of spoilers. They had a chance to leave this game and never come back. They had that chance. This is not something that was forced upon them. They were given the choice. So in that choice, were they right? Were they wrong to do the situation? I mean, it turns out that playing these games, if basically they lose their lives. This shows the desperation, the depression, everything that people go through on a daily basis. In history, we've seen this written in many novels, movies, TV series. We've seen small one or two characters that might go through something like this. In the case over in Asia, you've seen where large groups is happening. In the case of Squid Game, you're seeing it in an enormous size of group of people of all different shapes and sizes on there. And you say, well, it's not diverse. It has nothing to do with that. These are people that come from all different groups. You have some people that are from the mafia. You have people who are basically in big business. You have people that just basically is married with kids and having issues with their kids. Or in the case, there was a couple. There was a couple in this one, a married couple. How would it go down? There was one game where basically, if you were teamed up, the other was not going to make out of it. They was not going to make it out of the room alive. These are the things that happen in this series, and it's a great series. And I do want to see how this is. I'm not going to give the ending on it, but I love the ending on this. And it's a choice is the ending, and I'm not going to give it to you right now. But understand, season 2. Where do we go from there? Where do we exactly, for the choices that we made toward the end of the season finale, where do we go from there? And it's very interesting. And it's very interesting on how far does this, from the understanding of what this game is, how far in the world does this is? This could be something that is held worldwide from the people that showed up in this. This is something that's very large, and a lot of money is being pumped into this. And for it to have kids games taken to the extreme is very brilliant. I mean, you've seen stuff in Saw and in Battle Royale and a couple of other movies where they've had games where you have to try to survive. I mean, this perspective is really well done. It's really well done. I mean, the other one I do recommend is the Japanese, the Alice in Borderlands, which that is getting a season 2 as well, both on Netflix. And you notice they're both on Netflix. And the thing about it is, this is what's pumping Netflix. Alice in Borderland, when it came out, it was on top, but most people didn't talk about it. Squid Game came out. It ended up in the top. It is still in the top 10 for weeks. It was finally off number one for about I think the last 2 weeks it's been off number one, but it's still in the top 10. And people are still enjoying it and still talking about it. And we had Halloween costumes. We had Halloween costumes out, people dressed like this. So season 2, Squid Game, we're going to look for it. We'll continue to monitor when. This is probably going to be, and if depending on this, on how fast he can write a script on this, we're talking maybe 2023, possibly 2024. You know, at the latest. So we reached this part of the video. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, share this video. Friday night, Saturday pre-flight, our last one before the holiday schedule comes in. But we will be continuing Man with the show straight through the holidays on there. But Saturday pre-flight will return back on December 3rd at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. But you can catch it this week. We got a good one this week, too. We're doing the last film of Natalie Wood. We'll be discussing that as well. So we'll see you on the next run. Thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.